Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Alex. I'm gonna do this video. I want to clarify up some stuff. It's about a future gaming crash, a possible future gaming crash, and if you've already seen the one I did beforehand, I didn't really have a lot of information, but I want to go over some key points and point out what's happening today that already happened back in the 1980s that is pretty much signifying and signaling to us that there might be another possible gaming crash. Now, I know I've got some emails, I've gotten some emails making fun of me that there won't be a gaming crash, some emails that, actually, opened up some people's eyes, but, I want to do another video just to put some clarified facts out there that happened in the past, that's already happening today, and why I think in like 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now, there probably won't even be another console made. I'm not saying consoles will be gone in general. I'm just saying the idea of a console will be so scrutinized, so crap, and so much, it'll be, the console will be equal to crap. That's pretty much what it's going to be. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be. I'm just giving you an idea of why I think, the gaming industry is going down into a slump here on years on end. And so I want to talk to you guys about it. Let's go over one point. And the one point was that it wasn't all about the games that led to the industry crashing in 1983. The industry crashed because there was a lot of game consoles out there. There was a crap ton, and if I'm gonna pull this up, and I'm gonna count how many consoles there were within 1976 and 1983. All right, I'm gonna show you guys. All right, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 consoles out within 1976 to 1983. Could you imagine if we had that many consoles here today? How much scrutiny? Shut up, kitty! How much out of control it would be if we had over 20 consoles. That would be unheard of in today's day and age. That would be like, what the fuck, blue, right? But back in the day, that was that's how many there were, and a lot of people had to decide, they had to decide which console to get and all that. But of course, Atari is the most famous one. All right. Could you imagine if we had 24 consoles today? But the thing is, today we've got three main industries right now. We got Nintendo, we got Sony, and we got Microsoft, right? But that's not the case. Right now, since mobile gaming is so hot, they decided they want to go ahead and companies like Android and stuff like that want to make freaking consoles for games that are for mobile games. I don't understand that. And what it's doing is they want to get a piece of that billion-dollar industry by whatever means necessary, because they're not making enough money already. What brainwashing people to make them buy $2 to $5 games that are free to play. All right, because most of the games, like 80% of the mobile games, you have to pay some sort of money if you want to make it, out into the next level. Which is why I don't bother with a lot of mobile games now. I don't understand it. And companies are going to keep making more and more and more consoles just for mobile games that don't need to make consoles. This is exactly what's going to happen. You keep making consoles out there, people are going to be bashing them and making fun of them. But some people are going to buy them because they're so gullible. And of course, it's going to disperse the money into different ways. And of course, they're going to start jacking up prices. And everybody's going to be all in a freaking heyday. But, this This is just the beginning, this is just the beginning. And Amazon already said that we're going to release another Android freaking console here by the end of 2013, which is still speculation, but knowing Amazon and knowing they want to get rich, they're going to go ahead and make another console, and it's going to happen. I'll have all the articles that I use for my research in the links below. So another point I wanted to bring up was the gaming crash was centralized around the consoles, but the computers thrived. So nowadays you got a lot of people, talking about PC Master Race and all this bullshit. Alright, I personally don't PC game. I'm not a big PC gamer. There's some PC games I do play, but that's just my opinion. That's just my personal taste. But now, everybody that I know and their mother has a Steam account, and I personally have nothing bad against Steam. Steam is actually a pretty good idea. I have nothing bad to really say against it. But back in the day, PC gaming was getting hot, and just like today, when consoles were being scrutinized and all this because they were putting out crap ass games, just like today, just like publishers like EA are forcing these developers to make crap ass games for you so you can keep throwing money at it because it's not fully finished. They're pulling out all these crap ass games, but yet PC gaming was still thriving. And the crap ass games, I'm talking about like Pac-Man and of course E.T., that eventually led to the console crash. Nowadays you see crap ass. I'm not talking about visual effects. I'm not talking about none of the visual effects, but a full game. You know what I'm talking about? A full game. You want a full game to experience, but publishers are just milking gamers out of the ass for extra money. And PC gaming now is picking up because everybody can get cheap ass games online. You would go the cheap route too if you don't have the money to spend $60 for a 40% completed game, and then you have to throw in another $60-$80 more for either a season pass or some fucking download that was supposed to be included in the game, but the developers so rushed that the publishers were like, oh, it'll just be another DLC, and we keep paying out of the ass for it. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but when you centralize a whole game on DLCs instead of the game itself, then you've got problems. And that's how games are doing nowadays. They've got problems. I'm not saying all games are like that, but games are getting to that point. Arcades. Let's talk about arcades. Arcades isn't a bad... arcade, I love the arcade. Actually, I remember playing my first arcade in a Pizza Hut, actually, in... was it like 1991, 1992? I remember playing... was it Galaga? I remember playing it on the arcade. And... arcades are slowly, they're diminishing, and a lot of people, don't want to keep paying quarters on quarters for, to buy extra lives or whatever, whatnot for, arcade games. Nowadays, mobile gaming is like it's pretty much like an arcade game. You get the full advantage of it. And you run out of lives, you run out of moves, you run out of stuff, and then you throw in extra money to if you were playing an arcade, you would throw in another quarter to keep playing. Mobile gaming, like 80% of the games, you have to keep throwing money at it to keep going and actually do something within the game. Of course, you can wait, but games and mobile games in general is pretty much to test your patience. If you don't have the patience and you want to keep going at it, of course you're going to keep throwing money at it, just like an arcade game. Pretty much mobile gaming has replaced arcades. That's pretty much what's going on here, people. And a lot of people just don't realize that. And they need to open up their eyes and realize that mobile gaming has taken the platform of an arcade game. and you're throwing money immensely at, you're not supporting the arcade itself, you're supporting the developers of the game. And that to me is, it's a good investment for the developers, but at the same time, you're just throwing money at it constantly, hoping, you can get further in a game that you're going to need to keep throwing money at eventually. Atari, I don't know. What can I say about Atari? Atari single-handedly brought down the gaming industry. And, a lot of people will agree. Some people will disagree. If it wasn't for Atari coming out with crap-ass games, we probably wouldn't have had a crash in 1983. Like Pac-Man. The Pac-Man that came out for Atari, a lot of people were pissed. And actually, I downloaded the emulator for the E.T. game that Atari made. And let me tell you, man, that thing, oh my god, I didn't even know what the fuck was going on in that game. I honestly did not know what the fuck was going on in that game. But they threw it out there. They assembled it in like, 6 weeks it took to assemble a whole E.T. game together? Just throw it out there to the gamers? Such low... They budgeted so much money for it. They took 6 weeks to make, and it was just god-awful crap. And now, game publishers today are doing the same thing. They're forcing their developers to come out with, just 40% completed games that, like I said earlier in the video, they want to keep charging you more money for content that was supposed to be in the game that developers want to put in the game. It's not like developers don't want to put it in the game. It's the publishers that are forcing them to come out with games so fast and not take their time because they want to make profit. They want to make money. In the short term, yes, you will make money like that. But now that people are realizing that DLCs are just wasting so much money out of the gamer's pocket. It's getting to the point that gamers are getting pissed off at this fact, and I'm glad they're getting mad because they need to get mad. They need to get mad, and people need to realize and understand that gaming, it's not about just trying to suck money out of the public. It's about giving the public something that you liked and that you made, with all your dedication, and you want to show that final product to people so they pay you money for it. But when the final product is not completed and you give them a half-assed piece of shit, of course gamers are going to get fucking pissed off. And then, now, of course, in Atari, I'm going to bring this up too because, I'm not particularly keen on GameStop. I do go to GameStop from time to time, and the only time I ever go to GameStop is to actually get a new game that's come out that, I want now. I don't want to wait, 2-3 days or a fucking week for it to actually ship out to me. I want to play it today. So, back in the 1970s, 1980s, of course, everybody who had an Atari were selling the games to other people, and they were making money out of it, and they weren't giving the money to the developers. And at that point in time, back in the day, of course, developers, and the publishers, they lived off, the money that we as gamers paid to them. Back in the day, of course, we paid them, and they came out with the product. Now, we have GameStop. We have a whole bunch of high-end used games like GameFly, Redbox, freaking GameStop. We have all these companies out there that are making profit out of, a developer's product. It's one thing to, and it has its ups and it has its downs. I'm not going to say GameStop and whatever other companies, whatever they're doing, is completely evil, all right? They are giving families they are giving families a cheaper alternative than to buying a $65 game. And I understand that not everybody has the money to spend $65 on a brand new game. and that's completely understandable. I know where you're coming from because, I myself, whenever I have a tight budget at times and I want to play something new, I would go out and buy a used game. Lately, I haven't really bought a used game, and that's been getting me in a lot of trouble with the wife. But, I want to give money back to the people who made that product. And just like in the 1980s, when people were selling Atari and other system games, it's happening today. And I'm not saying that all these publishers and stuff, they can't live off. I'm not saying that they necessarily need all of our money. They necessarily need to, resell used games to $65 because, you're trying to support developers. But I just don't know. I don't know what's going to be. And everybody's saying that DRM stops all that, but you own, even if DRM was still in place, you would own that piece of media. Even if it's digital, you would still own that piece of media. I don't see why you can't give it to somebody else if you wanted to. If you wanted to sell it off, if you want to make money, off that licensed product that you bought, I don't see why you don't have that option. If you're strapped on cash, I don't see why you need to just limit yourself to just keeping the game when you can make some kind of money off of it. And, that's the whole mentality of used games. If you want to make a quick buck and you need it, then you can sell your games. It's ridiculous, but at the same time, it makes sense. So now we've come at a standstill. Do we still keep selling used games, or do we, keep pushing new games to be bought by more people? But like I said, no one's going to pay $65 for a half-assed game, which is what's happening today and why a lot of people are getting mad. Why would you pay $65 and if God forbid it raises up to $80 for EA games, which I hope and it's not true, they haven't come out with nothing yet, it's already happened in Europe, why, pray tell, why would you spend $80 on a new game that turns out to be 40% completed and crap, and you like the title, you like the game because of the title and what you've played before, but now you have to download all this other crap and waste $65 to $80 on top of the game you just bought to get the full experience. And that's why a lot of people are turning over to used games. Understandable so. I'm not even mad at them. The publishers, main big publishers like EA need to realize that games are games because they give you a full experience and they give you that experience you want while playing it. You have that, you want that gaming experience. You want to enjoy playing games. What's enjoyable about playing a half-assed game and then having to pay more money just so then you can complete the story? There's nothing enjoyable about that. And this is my main point. If shit keeps going on like this, of course people are going to retaliate and they're going to fucking fight back. It's understandable so. And then Nintendo comes in 1985 and it saves the industry. And I can't get mad at Nintendo. I can't get mad at them. Even now today, even with their poor ass Wii U sales, even if they're not making games for the Wii, I still have a sort of respect for Nintendo, because if it wasn't for the gaming crash in 1983, Nintendo being the saviors pretty much in America for bringing back console games and giving people, a chance to play console games again, because everybody had that spite and that hatred towards consoles and they turned to PC gaming. And then Nintendo brought it back out, and it was all fun, and it was a kid, it was pretty much advertised as a toy, not a console. And that's what appealed to the public. The public loved it, and that's why a lot of people today still love Nintendo. I still personally, I still play Nintendo. I still like Nintendo in a way. I don't agree with some of their policies, but most of their policies, I understand why they do it. Like, why they won't release their game characters to other platforms and stuff like that. They want to keep their, they want to keep their platform self-based. They want to keep their hardware and their software self-based. Everything in between, just like game characters, they want to keep it in place. Understandable. I'm not even mad about that. Everybody's saying that, Nintendo's going to tank. They have billions of dollars right now sitting in the bank. They're not going to tank for a decade. It will take a decade of doing nothing for Nintendo to fall. Alright? So all you people out there fucking downgrading Nintendo, yes, the Wii U sucks. Yes, they need to make games for it. Yes, they need to lower the price. I totally agree with that 100%. But at the same time, Nintendo's fine. But they got too complacent with the Wii. Brought out the Wii U, thinking people were going to buy it because it's just another Wii. And it didn't happen that way. Whoa. Why not? Games, guys. Games. You buy game consoles for games. There's nothing really out there for the Wii U. Duh. And let's get to, I want to get to my final topic. My battery's low. I want to get to my final topic. And it's gamers today. And back in the day, gamers were usually in their 20s and 30s. A lot of kids, were playing consoles as well, but it really appealed to the 20s and 30s generation. Now today, the average gamer, I believe, is like what, 35, 36, even up in the 40s. People still have that kid at heart, and they still want to play games. When the gaming industry crashed, it broke a lot of kids' hearts. It broke a lot of adults' hearts. They were like, what the fuck, Now we can't play games anymore. When Nintendo brought it out, it appealed to both the older gamers who were missing that nostalgia, that console, and it brought out to the younger gamers because it was advertised as a kid. Of course, that's why Nintendo made so much money. But today, now that the gaming community is a little bit older, a lot of people are rationally thinking that why are we doing these idiotic moves in the gaming industry like DLCs and all this bullcrap. And that's completely understandable, and I would see why they would think that. Why are you doing all this? Like, why are you trying to milk everything for what it's worth? Just like not too long ago, Breath of Fire 6. It's like I've seen screenshots of it. I've seen screenshots of it, and man, it looks like shit. All they did was make another game and slap the Breath of Fire 6 on it, name on it, and threw it out there, hoping it would sell. Capcom has been going downhill as well. It's not just EA that I'm hating. It's Capcom is doing idiotic moves. And I can understand why Ubisoft and now Bethesda, aren't supporting the Wii U because, well, why are you going to keep? Why is a gaming company wanting to make, games for an HD console when both the main consoles like PlayStation and Xbox are coming out with Blu-ray capabilities? And they have a right. They have a right to choose who they want to make games for. You don't necessarily have to decide that. You're not gonna make games for them because you hate them. It's because of another reason. I just want to say this, guys. I'm just gonna do a quick minute, conclusion. There's a lot of things going on in this world, and the gaming industry in general is taking a lot of heat because a lot of people keep blaming it for violence and stuff like that. We keep bringing out crap games, and you keep charging double, even triple of the game's price to get the full gaming experience. And you keep freaking trying to get people to buy the new game, but no one's gonna pay full price for a game that doesn't deserve a full price. The gaming industry right now, as it is slowly going down. It's slowly crashing. I don't know what else I can say, except do your research and look up everything. Compare the notes. Compare what's going on today to what's already happened, and you will see for yourself that even if history and today are doing different things, like it looks like they're doing different things, under the lines they're pretty much doing the same thing. And we as gamers in the end are going to suffer. We're the ones who are going to take the hit, because companies like Sony and Microsoft and all these fucking Android fucking consoles that are coming out, you know, they're going to fucking stop making consoles if fucking games don't sell. Why would you put out a product if it's not going to make money? And in the end, they're gonna stop making consoles. Everybody's gonna be like boo hoo hoo, and they're gonna go play PC games. And who's going to come out in the end? Just like it happened back in the past. Because they're the only industry right now that's considered an actual gaming industry. You already know the answer to this. Company that saved the console gaming industry in the past is going to do it again. And a lot of people give Nintendo shit because they have kid games and all this bullshit. You know, that's your opinion. Just because they don't make first-person shooters doesn't mean that they have fucking just kid games. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it appeal to the kids. Fuck it, whatever, whatnot. It's your choice. But in the end, when it's all said and done, Nintendo's gonna come back out on top. And I'm not trying to fanboy Nintendo, but Nintendo's going to save the gaming industry again. And I don't even know if Nintendo's going to save the gaming industry, because kids have been so brainwashed with freaking all these other FPS and fucking games that, you know, you have to shoot to kill and all this bullshit, that I don't even think Nintendo's going to sell a lot more consoles, that's for sure, and a lot more games. But I don't even know if Nintendo's going to revive the gaming industry single-handedly like it did, you know, decades beforehand. So that's my take on this. I know it's a long video. I'm sorry. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents out there, and hopefully somebody watches this video and understands everything that I'm saying. So comment, like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to know more, you can always leave me a comment. I'll always respond to comments. Email me if you want. Subscribe if you want to. I do videos like this every now and then. I know I'm due for another rant video, which, you know, I'll be bringing up one soon. Trust me, I'll be bringing one up soon. But I appreciate you watching. Like I said, thumb it up. Comment. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate it. Alex out.